There we go. Hello, hello. Oh, I see we already got some comments. Hello, hello. I'm going to post this live stream for later. So, for all of you who are rewatching this live stream, hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Just going to wait for a couple of people to get in. I see that someone actually already messaged and said, "Oh, hi, hi, Ecom X." I see someone posted, "I would like to be a mental health life coach." That's awesome. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I see more people joining in on today's live. I am so excited to be on this live with you guys today. I feel like I have so much to share on this topic. And I know that a lot of people have been asking me a lot of questions, and so I'm super excited. So basically, what this is this is a live Q&A session that I'm hosting today, just to answer any questions that you guys have about what it takes to become a life coach. Edgem. Oh, that's really pretty, actually. Hi. And absolutely. Okay, great. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. If you guys have some questions, we can go ahead and jump right in. I have my tea. I'm settled in. Have this cool little mug that I love. Makes me so happy. Hi, Nikki. Nikki says, I found you a couple of weeks ago and love the content. Hey, Ebony. Hi. I'm so happy to see you here. Great. Okay, great, Ejim. I'm glad that I got it. All right. So if you guys have any questions, thank you so much for joining me so far today. I'm so happy to see you guys. But yeah, go ahead and fire your questions. So excited. I get so excited for things like this. Ooh, okay. It's very hot. Not quite ready to be sipped. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Let's see. I know that like a lot of the questions that I get are around like certification. Should I get certified? Should I not get certified? I know that's a hot topic. Recently, a lot of people have been coming to me asking about like how to niche down as a coach. So that might be something that you guys have questions about. Let's see what else. There's so many things. How to price your services, how to get your first coaching clients, how to actually like start the business side of things and start getting paid, how to manage clients. There's so much that goes into life coaching. But I will say that it is an absolutely rewarding field. So I love it so much. I've been having such a great time. It's really awesome. All right, Nikki. So Nikki says, how do you juggle working and running your business? Trying to set a schedule for myself. That is such a good question. So recently, I quit my job actually, back in July. So I'm no longer juggling them. I'm able to do coaching full time, which has been such a blessing. But before I did have a 9 to 5, it was a very like mentally draining 9 to 5. Um, and so it took a lot to kind of juggle everything. But what really helped me was to, number one, set boundaries with my boss and them at work. I had to kind of remember, okay, I'm building my own thing that I care a lot about while I'm still working for this big organization. So that was one like mindset shift that I felt like I needed to change, was remembering that, okay, I have my own thing that I need to put my time and energy toward, even if it's like 15 to 20 minutes every night. Another thing that I also did was I adopted this habit called a power hour. And so, when you go to work and you come home and you're like kind of tired, you're like, okay, I really don't quite feel like working on my business. The power hour became like a ritual for me. After work, I would settle down, and then I would have a cup of coffee actually at like 7 at night. Don't recommend, but tea is probably better. But I would have a cup of coffee and I would just do one or two things for my business. So I would answer emails during that time. I would set up sessions. I would write out my social media content. So power hours and setting boundaries with my boss are two big things that I had to do to just like juggle everything. And then also using my days off too. So sometimes taking long weekends just to make sure that I'm caught up on all of my business work as well was super vital. So I think, oh, and one more thing. Well, you said running your business, so I'll keep that there. But quitting my job was a whole nother thing that people ask about. Great question though, Nikki. Fantastic question. And thank you for being here and joining. I see that you said you found me a couple of weeks ago and love the content. So I'm so happy to have you. Sandy! Hi, Sandy. Hello, Sandy. I don't know if you want me to share this, but some of my clients are in the chat. I'm so happy to have you guys here. So happy that you joined me. Okay, so Ejim says, please can you tell us how to build the business side of coaching? And also, Nikki, thank you so much for the congratulations. I really appreciate that. Hi, Sandy. So, when it comes to building the business side of coaching, a lot goes into that. I feel like you kind of have to ask me more of a specific question about the business part. Um, but yeah, can you get a little bit more specific with your question? Um, Ejim, what about the business side of coaching? Hi, Sandy. Sandy, thank you so much. Sandy says, hi, this girl is the best coach ever. Thank you so much, Sandy, for the love. I have so much love for you. You already know. So thank you so much for being here. I don't see any specifics. I'll just kind of talk at random about it. I don't know exactly what you want to know, Ejim, but when it does come to building the business side, you want to make sure that you are aware of your pricing. You want to make sure that you are able to articulate and communicate what it is that you help people with. So I think that that's one of the most important parts of the business side is being able to articulate what it is that you offer to people and asking for it as well. I think a lot of where coaches get lost in actually building the business is not the coaching side. A lot of people actually are great coaches, and coaching well comes with practice. But when it comes to actually asking for the sale, a lot of people feel like nervous about that. They feel like a sleazy salesman and stuff like that. So that's one of the big things that I help with in my program is like getting to the sales mindset. I think that that's really, really important. Um, so yeah, you have to know how to talk about your business. Okay, Ejim says like packages, not registration of company. Oh, okay. So yeah, when it comes to the business side of coaching, you do want to have a coaching package or two that you do share. So some people have 3-month packages, some people do like month to month. For my business, I do 3 months at a time because I feel like it's a really good amount of time to like get results for people and to work with them and get to know them. And then if they want to renew, we do that. But yeah, you can package up and create a program, like a coaching program. 12 weeks, you can do it where every week you're talking about something different, or you can just come to the session ready to talk about what they want to talk about. But I think that when it comes to the business side, being able to articulate what you do and what you help with, the benefits of working with you, as well as niching down to something where people know what it is that you do, and also creating that package or creating that program around that niche topic and the benefits that you want to provide. Um, that's the long and short of business, and how to create those packages. Okay, so My Kids Fitness UK says, hi, first of all, hi, and thank you guys for joining. Great question so far. Says, how long did it take for your coaching business income to replace your full-time income? That is actually a really great question. So it took, let's see, um, I started coaching pretty seriously and like getting paid more for it in late 2019. I became certified in 2019 as well, and then took some months just trying to like figure it out, and then started coaching late 2019. So from then until July is when I actually like quit my job. But before that, though, I started realizing, okay, I'm getting some pretty good money from this. I think for me, I had some savings, and then also quitting allowed me to spend more time actually like working and catering toward my business. So I did a lot of work toward it. I created my course, which is where most of the income comes from now. But yeah, it took from late 2019 around like November. So I'd say about like 7 months before I was able to quit with the income that I had and feel comfortable with quitting. And that was a big thing, right? Because going from having your every 2 weeks payment to like doing it completely on your own and being an entrepreneur is, yeah, that took some mindset work. But the beauty of it is that you can make so much money with coaching. So it is a very lucrative business. Just online businesses in general can become very lucrative because you can reach so many people. So for me, it was I needed the time to actually build my business, and working my 9 to 5 was taking away a lot of that time. Great, great question. All right, so Haru Chipa says, how do you manage the contract establishing and maintaining the expectation and boundaries of mentoring coaching contract with the client? So how do you manage the contract establishing and maintaining? So I actually went through a certification program that kind of helped me with my contract. And then after I had like that template for a contract, I built on it as I went along. So I started noticing things as I was coaching that I wanted to like add into the contract. And so I started just kind of building and took that original simple template and built on that. So that's what I did. Also, as far as setting boundaries, I hold what I call a kickoff call before my actual before we actually start working together. I have like a kickoff call, and so on that kickoff call, we basically go over the contract, talk about expectations. I ask them questions, they ask me questions, and we make sure we're on the same page before starting. So I hope that that helps, Haruchipa. Also, I hold a like discovery call before we start coaching too. And so clients or prospects can ask any question that they have then too, to even make sure that my program is right for them. So I do hold that call as well beforehand, just to make sure everyone is on the same page and that we're actually a really good fit to work together. All right, great question. Okay, so Edgem says, do you do only one-time coaching, or it starts straight with 3 months? Great question. So at one time, I was offering like consultation calls. I will still do consultation calls sometimes if it is requested. So a consultation call is basically like a one-off type of call. But I do prefer doing straight 3 months. So for my program, I have a full-on course. So if you sign up for my 3-month program, you get 12 months of access to the course material. So it's tons of video lessons and trainings all about social media and how to build your business online, how to coach well, coaching basis, all of that. So I do prefer to work with people for 3 months so that we can get the benefit. And then I feel like they get more too because they get 12 months of access to that course as well. And then after that 3 months, if clients want to renew with me, they can renew for like 1 month at a time. So that's my current business model. You guys are asking lots of questions. I'm really appreciative of this. Great questions. Great, great questions. So yeah, Ajam, I hope that helps. Okay. So Nikki says, how did you decide or narrow down what type of coaching you wanted to do? I am stuck. I do videos on mindset. Does that fall under life coaching? Such a great question. And I think a lot of people who are going to watch this share this same exact question. Like, how do you narrow down? This is a question that I get all of the time. So I do have a system for niching down. And I personally went through I went through one other niche before I did business coaching or settled on life and business coaching, two others. My first niche was actually mindset. So My background is in mental health, and so I naturally thought that mindset would be a great place for me to kind of make the transition into coaching. Mindset absolutely falls under a type of life coaching, but I branded myself as a mindset coach. So you can brand yourself as a mindset coach. Um, I shifted to life and business coaching as my branding because I was realizing that mindset kind of touched the surface of all that I wanted to talk about. I was really, really passionate about business. I wanted to go to school for business. And so I was really passionate about it. And I love the idea of just building something from the ground up. So I wanted to share that passion with other people. So that's what made me kind of shift over to business coaching. And then even then, I was trying to work with all types of entrepreneurs. So like beauty entrepreneurs, people who did nails and things like that. And then I niched down again to working with just coaches for the time being. So I did have to go through a little bit of trying to work with people and just like learning myself and seeing what it took for me to actually niche down. But basically, in my program, I teach people how to niche down using a much better system than what I used, a three-part system to actually help you to do that much faster than what it took me. Because I kind of recognized, okay, if I had known these things, niching down would have been a lot easier. But yeah, mindset coaching is a form of life coaching, absolutely. Great question. Okay. Ejim says, do you use coaching tools such as homeworks after sessions? How do you help them to maintain the positive state until the next session? Great questions. So for my clients, I do use homework after sessions. A part of my course has what I like to call PIP exercises. So PIP it's PIIP, and it stands for put it into practice. So I thought that was really cute. But yeah, so I assigned them PIP exercises at the end of every lesson. But also, when we come to the sessions, I do ask them, okay, what would you like to work on to grow your business or to meet whatever goals you have over the next week. So before we talk again. And so we do absolutely assign homework after every session. Sometimes it's like three things that they want to do. Sometimes it's only one big thing that they want to focus on. So it's based off of the client and what they feel like they can do. Sometimes I do push my clients a little bit, but we keep it reasonable in what they would like to do. And then how I help them to maintain the positive state. So I actually ask clients to contact me within the week between. I have some clients who are really, really good with this. And then sometimes I will actually check on my client as well and see how they are doing as far as whatever they are supposed to be working on over the week. And then they'll give me, a status update of what it is or how they're doing. And sometimes it's like, I'm doing great. Or sometimes it's like, oh, I'm really struggling. And so I help to encourage them with those midweek check-ins. So that's how we kind of help to keep the positivity until the next session, because I don't want them to lose the momentum. So yeah, that was a great question. That was a great question. Okay, Nikki says, I used to be in healthcare, and I think that is why I focused on mindset. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so if you worked in healthcare, Nikki, that makes so much sense why you want to be a coach. I find that a lot of coaches work in the helping professions already. And so your passions for helping people translates very well into life coaching. So that makes sense. And mindset is so, 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 so important. It's like so important. Even in my coaching that I do now, even in the course that I created, we focus on mindset first before we jump into the business, because I think that it takes a certain mindset to even build a business, right? It takes a certain mindset to leave your job. It takes a certain mindset to talk confidently about yourself. It takes a certain mindset to believe in yourself. So mindset is absolutely everything. And if you don't have the mindset that it takes, then you'll be like fighting yourself every step of the way. So mindset is super important. And there are a lot of coaches who make a lucrative business out of mindset. Okay. Bark Tech, not sure what that is. Ejim says, so creative, Pip. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love my little Pip exercises. All right, Haruchipa, and tell me if I'm saying that wrong because I don't want to get it wrong. Says, how do you gather information on the effectiveness of your own practice and contribute to establishing a culture of evaluation of outcome? So basically, at the end of all of my time working with clients, I actually have them to fill out a feedback form. So that feedback form helps me to know how I'm doing. But even along the way, I'll be checking in and asking them, how do you feel about what I'm saying? Does this resonate with you? Constantly doing that. Also, in the contract, I have it written in my contract for clients to let me know if I'm like being effective or let me know if I'm missing the mark. And the reason why I do all of this is to create that culture of where I'm like very aware of how they're receiving what I'm saying to them so that I can get better as a coach. Also, it's because, honestly, coaching is not about being right. Like, we as the coach, we're kind of just like, machines or not machines, but we're like vehicles or catalysts. Oh gosh, my teeth spilled. But yeah, we're like catalysts for the client to get to where they need to be. So it's really not about us. And so I definitely try to create a culture where they feel comfortable giving me honest feedback so I can get better, so I can get better as a coach. So yeah, that's really, really, really important. Um, yeah. Nikki says, absolutely true, because while I am starting this new business for myself, I have to consistently work on my own mindset to know that I can do this. Yes, yes, you do. It's like a constant, like, thing. I even have clients sometimes who start the program and they go through the mindset and they're feeling really good. And then we get on through the program and then it's time to sell, like actually start talking about their business. And then we have to go back and revisit mindset again, right? So it's a constant thing to make sure that you are staying in a positive mindset and believing in yourself. And so that you can do all the things that you need to do when it comes to coaching. Hi, hi. I'm gonna say Jamera Ellis. She says, thanks for the information. You guys are so welcome. You guys are so welcome. I hope that you all are getting a lot out of this. Um, Coaching is, like I keep saying, such a rewarding field. I just love it so much. It's so much fun. And I feel very, very blessed to be able to do this full time. Um, and so I feel so lucky, but it takes work to build. So for those of you who are willing to do the work, absolutely, I say go for it. Absolutely go for it. Edgem says, we are guiding them on their journey, not doing the work for them. Absolutely true. I think that some coaches come in feeling that they have to know everything about the topic that they're speaking on, or they have to be perfect, or their life has to be perfect. You know what I mean? And it's not like that at all. Of course, to be a coach, you do want to have some expertise or some background communicating with people and listening. There's like certain skills that it definitely takes to be a coach, but I think that you must always remember that you are just the vehicle. You can't do the work for them. The client still has to do the work at the end of the day. So it's really up to them, the magnitude of the results that they get from your coaching program. Your coaching program can be the best thing ever, but if the client is not like ready to do the work, sorry, that's Paco, then it'll be a struggle for them. So I have some more questions. I'm gonna go grab some paper towels really quick. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. I was getting a little too animated. I use my hands a lot when I speak, and I pushed my tea over a little bit. Little intermission. You guys are coming up with such great questions. I'm loving this. All right. So Nikki says, do you feel you need a certification to be a coach? Such a great question, Nikki, and something that a lot of people ask. So this one is it's a it depends type of question, and I'm going to tell you why. So yes, I did get certified as a coach. Um, And I did go through the whole certification process. It took me 6 months. It was more expensive even than my program. And I learned, I think what it takes to be a coach. But I think where a lot of certifications fail is teaching you the business side of things. And so even after I got my certification, I still struggled to understand how to actually get clients and attract clients and really niche down and things like that. And so I do think that getting a coaching certification can be helpful, especially if you have like no understanding of coaching and you just want something to like make you feel confident with coaching. But if you already have some sort of expertise or some sort of knowledge on a topic that you can teach, or if you've already been in the helping professions and you are already like a very articulate communicator, you're a great listener, you have some of those like just natural coaching skills, I think that you don't have to go through a certification. Honestly, I feel like it's I don't want to say better, but it's definitely a good idea to go through to invest in some type of program to help you. But there's like programs like mine, for example, where I work with you. And yes, we talk about how to coach and the coaching basics, but we focus more on the actual turning it into a business side of it. Cause I think that that's actually the part where coaches struggle the most. So the coaching certification is just like the foundation part of things. Like, okay, this is how to be a coach. But if you're actually trying to start a coaching business and coach people and get paid for it, I honestly think it's probably better to invest that money that you would do a certification on into an actual program that teaches you how to turn into a business. So that's my 2 cents on it. And I went through a certification and I'm saying that. So I think that holds a little bit of weight. Because even after I got my certification, I still end up investing in another coaching program that taught me how to turn it into a business, that taught me social media, things like that. So great question. Hello, hello. Okay, so Cynthia Threet says, I agree that mindset is important and being constant with your goals and sticking to them. Absolutely, absolutely. Even when our goals are like scary, you know what I mean? And that's where that mindset that you were talking about comes into, is having the mindset to say, even if I'm scared to do it, I'm still going to do it because I have this goal and I want to stick to it and I want to get these benefits from it. So absolutely, mindset is so important. Sticking to your goals is so important. Great. Okay, My Kids Fitness UK says, what challenges have you encountered so far as a coach and how have you managed them? So I mentioned niching down was really tough in the beginning because like many other coaches, you have an idea that niching down can kind of like box you in. And so I did find it difficult to actually settle on one thing because I felt like I could help so many people, right? Like we're helpers. And so I really had to shift my mindset and understand that niching is more so like a marketing tool. It's not the end all be all. Niching down doesn't even dictate what I'm actually going to talk about in my sessions because clients can come with like a life issue. And even though I'm a life and business coach, um, leaning more into the business coach, sometimes we'll spend most of the session talking about something that's going on in their life. So I still get to talk about all types of different topics in people's lives as that life and business coach. And so the niching down part just helps you to market yourself better so that people who are looking for a certain person like you can find you. So some people are looking specifically for a business coach that is going to specifically teach them how to build their own coaching business faster than if they were to do it on their own. So those people will find me and be happy to find me versus if I just branded myself as like a general life coach, then it's like, okay, what exactly are we going to be talking about? So niching down and understanding that process was definitely a challenge. Um, Creating my course was absolutely the biggest challenge I have had in my entire business. I remember it was so funny. I thought that it was going to take 2 weeks to create my course, but it took months to create my course because I wanted to make it really, really good. And I do feel really good about it. It's an exceptional course, and it's so thorough and so detailed, and it tells you literally step by step, if you were starting from the very beginning, how to become a successful life coach and build a life coach a life coaching business, how to price, how to do social media, how to articulate what it is that you do. It teaches everything. So I'm really proud of it. But it was definitely a challenge to create that. So those would be what I would say are were two of my biggest challenges as a coach. Another challenge that I've had is working with like specific clients. Like some clients come in and they're like, "Yes, I'm ready to work. I'm ready to do this," right? And then some clients come in, they're like, "Okay, I'm ready to work, but I have all of these like limiting beliefs and things like that." So as a coach, I had to learn how to be very like compassionate with people and how to understand that people are learning, people are growing. So it's just like general like patience types of things when it comes to actually working with clients. And the beautiful thing about that is it taught me patience as a business owner, but it also taught me patience as a human being. So those would be some of the challenges that I have had. I used to have a challenge around like money mindset and selling like myself or like selling my coaching services as well. But I was able to overcome that as well so that I could meet my goals and help so many more people. So, great question. Yeah, those would be some of the biggest challenges I would say. All right, so Haru Chipa says, understanding self, how do you demonstrate awareness of your own values, beliefs, and behaviors? Ooh, I like the way that you worded that too. So, if I understand correctly, you're asking me pretty much like just knowing myself and having self awareness. How do I demonstrate that? Like, demonstrate what I learn. So, when it comes to coaching specifically, sometimes I do like give a little bit of self disclosure of things that I've gone through if I feel like it's appropriate for what they're going through. It's also a good means to like connect because you want to make sure that you're connecting with your clients and really being present with them. Um, but I think also I do have like sort of boundaries as well. I don't want to make sessions like about me. So when it comes to coaching, I'm not consistently like telling about my beliefs and like my behaviors. But just in general, if clients like ask me something or they want to know something like about my belief system or things like that, I'm pretty open with my clients because at that point we're like in a coaching client relationship. So yeah, I hope I answered that question well. Please let me know. All right. So Cynthia 3, so we're calling you that, by the way. But Cynthia 3 says, where can you receive a coaching certification? So I received my coaching certification through Coach Training Alliance. So that is a certification school. Like I said, it took me 6 months to complete it. I came out with a certification from them and loads of skills of what it takes to be a good coach. So it taught me things like active listening, responding well to other people, like listening and being able to like articulate myself. So just like a bunch of communication skills, really, is what it tended to teach me. It didn't really teach me even like the niche down part of things. It just taught me like general life coaching. But Coach Training Alliance is really good. I've heard of IPEC. Um, that's IPEC. I've heard of, I think, Health Coach Institute. I have a coaching friend who went there. I've heard of JNRI. Not sure what it stands for, but I have a coaching friend who went there. So there's a couple of places. I would definitely do your research and see what certification school you might be interested in going to. Um, but I don't know if you were here as I was telling, I believe it was Nikki earlier. Certification is absolutely not, it's not required, but it can help if you want those basic skills of coaching. All right. Great questions, you guys. I feel like we've covered so much in such a short time. All right. Any other questions that you guys have about how to become a life coach? Um, what are some struggles that you guys are having when it comes to actually starting your life coaching business? So, what are some things that you are encountering that have held you back from actually starting your coaching business, having a coaching business, getting clients? things like that. I would love to know from you guys what y'all are struggling with. Okay. Are you guys having any struggles with coaching? Oh, thanks, mom. My mom is in here, you guys. Thank you, mom. I appreciate you. While you guys come with your questions, or struggles, once again, the question that I asked was, what are you guys struggling when it comes to actually building your coaching business? So while you guys come up with those struggles and questions, I just want to talk about like the importance of having a support system when it comes to building your business. I think one of the most important things I could have done when I was starting my business was having a very strong support system. So, like, of course, my mom is in my support system family. Um, that keeps my head on straight, keeps my mindset well. But I also got like accountability partners to help me as well. And me and my accountability partners meet like twice a week still, even to this day. It's been over a year now. We still meet twice a week. I actually joined a coaching group. I actually hired a business coach for myself as well. And she was a really, really great support for me when it came to actually building my business. So if you are starting your business or you want to start your business, please, please, please invest your time in strengthening your support system and letting people know that you need them to be there for you. I also think that it's really, really great idea to have a coach just because you like, even though your family and friends want to like help you out and encourage you, they don't like necessarily understand everything that you're going through when it comes to trying to start a business. So it really definitely helps to have like professional supports as well. But support systems, so important. All right. So Nikki says, in general, I think I struggle with imposter syndrome. Yeah, yeah. So that definitely will come when you coach. I don't even like to act like it's not going to come. It's probably going to come when you're trying to start your business. Um, so what helps me with imposter syndrome once again is having a good support system. It's because sometimes we can get so like in our heads, right? To where we are having all of these thoughts about us feeling like a fraud or about can we really do it? And it helps for other people to remind us of what it is that we've already done and how wonderful we truly are and all of those things. So excuse me, I think that having a good support system is great for imposter syndrome too, but also doing things like affirmations that say like I am this or I am going to be this, like positive affirmations. Just speaking life into yourself can help to combat some of those limiting beliefs that you might have. So imposter syndrome is basically like feeling like who am I, right? Who am I to do this? Why would anyone listen to me? Thoughts like that of like feeling like a fraud or feeling like not really good enough to actually make these things happen. And the truth about having imposter syndrome is if you're thinking on that wave, it absolutely can stop you if you let it. And so that's why it's so, 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 so important to make sure that you're feeding life into yourself. Make sure that you have other people who speak life into you as well. And to make sure that you're writing things down, journaling, just keeping your mind in a good place. But imposter syndrome comes, it's normal, it's natural. One of the best mindset hacks or the best mindset things that I love to tell myself when I'm like scared about something is I can feel the fear of doing something and still do it anyway. So just because I have the fear doesn't mean that I'm not going to still do it, especially if I have like a goal that I want to accomplish or something that I want to be done. It's like, okay, I really, really want that goal. So I'm still gonna like, you know, do what I got to do. But yeah, imposter syndrome is absolutely normal, Nikki. And you got this. You are good enough. People will listen to you. If you say it loud enough and you say it enough, people will listen to you. you can absolutely build up that authority in whatever space that you want to be in. And people they see your heart, they see your work. So yeah. Okay. So Jamera Ellis says just the business part, mission statement, vision statement, and so on. Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to creating like the business part of things, you always have to clarify when you say business to me though, because I business is like so big in my brain. So I don't know if you're talking about how to like get clients or how to like price your services, but mission statement, vision statement, things like that. Um, so I actually have a three-part system that I teach my clients to like help them to niche and create mission statements and vision statements and things like that. But one thing I can say is to focus on the problem that you want to solve. When it comes to building the business part of coaching and when it comes to actually writing out like your niche statement, focus on I help people with to solve this problem. And that is what I think resonates with people because when we actually want to like work with people or we actually want to pay people, um, we pay people to like ease our burdens and to ease our pain, right? So we buy things to like ease our burdens. Like if I have back pain, I'm going to buy a massage tool. If I have, something like some type of problem, I will spend money to actually solve that problem. And so when it comes to your mission and your vision, I would absolutely say focus in on the problem that you want to solve as well as how you want to do that. Um, I'm thinking more so in terms of niche, but yeah, and how you're gonna do that. Niche down. Okay. Okay. And yeah, as far as the business part, so you said all of that, Jamera. So as far as the business side of things, I think that to be quite honest, either you're going to do one of two things to build your coaching business. You're going to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out, trial and error, trying different prices and making different social media posts and trial and error, or you're going to invest in a program that's going to teach you the business side of it so that you can do it much faster. And it just depends on your timeline and how serious you are about having a coaching business, which one you do want to choose. Um, but yeah, I would highly suggest for the business part of things to invest in some type of program because that's a tough side of things. But yeah, you definitely want to make sure your pricing is on point. You want to make sure that you have a good coaching program that people resonate with. Market research is important. Actually validating your ideas with your prospect clients or with your target audience. Social media is important. There's just so much that goes on in creating the business side of things. And I will say for all of you guys, just a shameless plug here. So I actually created a 12-week, well, I have a coaching program that's 12 weeks, and then I created a course that I give access to for 12 months. It's called Crickets to Clients. And basically what it helps new and aspiring coaches to basically learn exactly the steps that it takes to set up their coaching business. So step by step, I teach you exactly what I did to create a profitable coaching business that was so, successful that I was able to quit my job and do it full time and work on it. And so if any of you guys in the chat are interested, I think I actually have the information in the description box and I can also post it in here to like just apply for a free like strategy call where you can see if we are a good fit to work together. But yeah, I highly suggest if you're serious about coaching to invest in something because if not, it's really tough. It's really tough because coaching is a premium product and if you don't know how to talk about it, it can be tough to sell. So you really got to know how to talk about it and how to package your items well. Okay. Okay, Nikki said from earlier with imposter syndrome, it's like, people will be like, who does she think she is to be coaching someone? Yeah. So that's absolutely imposter syndrome. It's those ideas like, who does she think she is? Or thinking for other people, right? Thinking that they'll be thinking that. When sometimes it's really not the case. Well, oftentimes it's really not the case. So we do have to be very, very careful with our thoughts. It's so, so important. Okay, okay. So Chipa says, "Will you please put in the chat box?" Absolutely. Let me grab it here. So what I'm putting in the chat box, you guys, is my contact form. If you are interested in actually working with me, talking more about coaching with me on a one-on-one basis, and just picking my brain, asking me questions, and then possibly even working with me in my 3-month program, I'm going to put the contact form in the description box so you guys can reach out to me. Okay, here we go. Okay. And once again, for my program, it is a 3-month coaching program, and you also get 12 months of the Crickets to Clients course. It's a brilliant program, and I'm not just saying that because I created it, but it's the program that I wish I would have had before I even tried and started. So I wish I had something that taught me like how to actually niche down, how to talk about myself to people comfortably, how to price my services. Like in my program, I teach you exactly how to price your services with the different like expertise that you have, or based off of your financial goals, things like that. So we go deep. And then when we actually meet up for our one-on-one sessions, you will have already like consumed the information from the course. And so we can talk about it in greater detail and talk about how to actually apply it to your business in our one-on-one. So I'm super proud of the program, and I'm super happy to work with you if you're interested. We will have a lot of fun. Okay. So, okay, let's see. Howard Chipa says, demonstrating ethical practice. How do you understand and consistently apply coaching ethics and standards of coaching? So I learned a lot of coaching ethics from coaches that I've had, as well as my coaching certification program. So basically, I think ethics is like is an integrity situation. So me personally, I feel like I'm a person from integrity. So I think that I just naturally apply that to my business. Like I naturally am like try my best to be transparent, with my clients on the front end about like what they can expect and what we're gonna do and things like that. Also, like I don't take people's money just for the sake of it. If we meet and I feel like I cannot help you, then I'll, point you somewhere else. So yeah, I think ethics is big in coaching because there is no big like regulating body, you know what I mean, for coaching. But I think that's honestly like a personal thing. And that's with really any business that you have. If you are a person who operates from integrity, then that's something that's going to transfer over into your business. All right. Nikki says, how did I find my accountability partner? So I told you guys I invested in a lot of different entrepreneurial and coaching things. So one of the membership programs that I invested in for entrepreneurs, I actually was on Facebook. It had like a Facebook group attached to it. And I met my accountability partner through that Facebook group. That's how I met one of them. And then I met another one through meetups. This was before COVID, of course, when meetup.com was like really big. And so I found a coaching meetup for new coaches at the time. And I actually like kept in touch with them even after COVID. I still meet with them every other Sunday. Um, and so, yeah, those were some of the ways that I found accountability partners, were mainly online, for me personally. I don't know too many coaches that I just like meet on the street. You know what I mean? I think it's definitely a niche career. And so, yes, that is how I found my accountability partners online. Okay, Cynthia 3 says, setting goals and choosing an area of coaching. I have a master's in marriage and family therapy, and I would really like to help women who have been through divorce. That is awesome and so I think needed. I think that so there is different types of like relationship and dating coaches, right? And so, for someone like you who has the background already in marriage and family therapy, one part of dating and relationships can be divorce. So, you would definitely fall into that dating and relationship category, but maybe you could articulate that you focus mainly on helping women through divorce. So, it sounds like you've done a pretty good job of niching down at this point. Yeah, it seems like you've chosen a good area. What I say to people after choosing like an area that they're interested in is just do the market research to see what other people are doing, see how they are packaging their services, things like that. Um, so that you can, yeah, things like that so that you can see what are other people doing, how are they packaging their services, and you can tweak and use that for yourself. Okay. Yeah, so it's probably time to create a program around that. But the thing that I think should be said as well is sometimes we don't know on the front end everything that we need to create or what our program is going to look like or things like that. So part of building your business is doing. So you can like start working with people sometimes for low amounts or like free, just to get that experience and like pick the brains of your actual prospect clients and see if you're missing the mark or if you're on the mark as far as what they need help with. So yeah, it sounds like you've chosen a pretty great area of coaching. A lot of people, I think, would be happy to have a coach to help them through dating again. Um, so yeah, figure out if you're helping them through the actual divorce, or if you're helping them to find love again, or if you're helping them to like heal from the experience. So that's a niche as well, is what exactly are you helping them with, and being able to articulate that to prospect clients. And then setting goals is so important. If you don't have any actual like real goals toward your business, then it is hard to actually get things done. So you do want to make sure that you are setting smart goals and sticking to them. Smart goals are, I learned this in my mental health background. So specific, measurable, attainable, realistic or relevant, and then time oriented. So you want to make sure that your goals are specific. When it came to actually leaving my job, I think one of the only reasons I was able to actually leave, because I had made enough money, I was there, I had everything that I needed. I think the main thing that actually helped me to leave was setting a date. So setting an actual goal, saying, okay, I want to leave by this day. So that's what I think actually helped me do it, because if not, I would have kept wondering, should I do this? When should I do this? What's the best time? La la la, all of those scary thoughts, right? Of actually taking a big leap of faith. So setting a goal, it really does help. Setting financial goals for my business, how much I want to make per month or how much I want to make per year. Setting goals around like even every night, like if you're someone who works that 9 to 5 and you want to work your business, setting goals around what you want to get done for the week for your business. Setting goals is just one of the best things you can do to actually get things done. Okay, Jamera says, thank you. You are so welcome. I'm glad that you found that helpful. Okay, I put it in the chat box. Okay, and Cynthia 3 says, heal from the experience. Great. Yeah, a lot of people would be super happy I think, to have someone to help walk them through that. Yeah. Okay, great. Any other questions that you guys have about coaching, how to become a successful life coach in 2022? How many of you guys are seriously interested in becoming a life coach in 2022? Put a 1 in the chat box if you are seriously interested in starting a coaching business. Okay, Ajum. Yes. You said 2 ones. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you got some good stuff out of it. Thank you for joining as well and popping in here to ask some questions. All right, so we got a few ones. Yeah, so if you are serious about creating a coaching business, absolutely go for it. I think one of the struggles that a lot of people have is not having that like direction, because people look at coaching like, Mr. Like, how do I break into the field? How do I get into the career? And it can be a bit of a mystery if you don't have that guidance of actually how to do it. It definitely takes some work to be able to build something out of nothing. And so that's really why I created the program, because I was like, okay, I wish that I had a walkthrough, someone to walk me through what they did to create their business. And so I wanted to do that for others. Yeah. So great. Definitely go for coaching. Okay. Harley Chipa says, and she put a one, says, enabling insight and learning. How do you facilitate client insight and learning by using tools and techniques, such or not the competency, and reflect on the result where applicable? Okay, enabling insight and learning. How do you facilitate client insight and learning by using tools and techniques, such or not the competency, and reflect on the result where applicable? Okay, I think I understand. I definitely understand the first part. I'm trying to make sure I understand the second part of it. Um, Oh, yes. Okay, my prices are at the end, by the way. They're at the bottom of the website. So basically, what I do is I help clients to reflect on what it is that they are saying during coaching sessions. So sometimes they'll say things or I'll ask them tough questions, and they'll say something and I'll ask them more questions to help facilitate their insight about what they are saying. So that's a big part of coaching, is asking powerful questions, asking like questions that help people to realize and understand their own mindsets, to realize and understand their own desires and wants and needs, to understand what is holding them back. So I ask powerful questions. That's one of the best tools that you can use as a coach to facilitate clients' insight. Also, some techniques that I use are I do provide those PIP exercises that I was sharing with you after every video lesson in my course. There's a PIP exercise attached to it. And so they are able to do those on their own time and reflect. So, for example, one of my PIP exercises is write down 5 limiting beliefs that you have around selling, that you have around promoting yourself, that you have around starting this business. So on the very front end, I have people to identify what has been holding you back. Do you feel like it's been lack of direction? Do you feel like it's been time? Do you feel like it's been fear? So I have very, very impactful homework assignments that I assign to clients to help them to meet their goals. So we get pretty deep in our one-on-ones. Yeah. And then as far as reflecting on the results, I shared earlier about, if I understand correctly, about that I share like a feedback form. I also have clients to recap where they've been before we end. So, where they've come from, how hard they've been working. There's a lot of, like, a big part of me coaching is being people's biggest cheerleaders. And so, I definitely help them to celebrate their wins. Every time clients have a win, I have them to like text me. And well, they text me just in general, and they're like, oh my gosh, I did this. I signed a client, things like that. And so it's just a lot of fun reflecting on the results and all of that. They sometimes send me their PIP exercises or their homework. So yeah, they just love the course part of things, and yeah, those PIP exercises really help. All right, so Ejim says, I checked on the website for packages of building the business of life coaching, however, couldn't find the prices. So I put my website in the chat for you guys as well here. The pricing is at the very bottom of my website. So if you're interested in knowing the pricing right away, it's at the very bottom of the website. Okay. And once again, if you are interested in applying to work with me, you do have to apply. I like to meet you guys and talk to you guys before we start working together. It's a free coaching call, or a free strategy call, rather, a discovery call, where we just sit and chat and see how we vibe together. And you tell me a little bit about like your goals and what you want to accomplish within the next year. Because once again, you'll have access to the curriculum for a year. So we talk about what it is that you want to accomplish. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, pretty easy. So once again, if you want to apply, I have put the put it in the chat, but I'll put it in there again. You're so welcome. It has been my pleasure. You've been asking such great questions, Harachipa. So thank you for joining. You stayed here the whole time. So thank you so much. A lot of you guys have come through and have stayed for quite a while. So I'm so grateful that you guys joined me today on this wonderful Saturday. Thanks for giving me a little bit of your time. I hope that this has been helpful. Once again, you guys asked like amazing questions. So kudos to you guys. I'm actually impressed by the questions that you guys have been asking. Um, and I hope that anyone who watches this live after can also get a lot of the goodness that has been in this live. So any more questions? We are coming up on the hour. But just wanted to connect with you guys today, just a little bit more about like my life update and just where I am in my business right now. So once again, I did leave my job. I think I said that in my last live. So I'm doing coaching full time. I have been working hard to create the course that I've been talking about today. It is amazing. And I've already had some people go through it and they've been giving such great feedback. I will be coming back to YouTube so much more. I'm so excited about that. I've missed you guys so much. I've missed posting and editing and just uploading and connecting with you guys. Here's an update on Paco. He was right there and I guess wanted to say hi. So if you guys, oh my God, are you okay? So if you guys have seen him in the vlogs, here he is as well. But thank you guys so, so much for joining my live. I've put all my information in the chat if you want to reach out. I'm so excited for anyone who joins. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Good luck on y'all's coaching businesses. Coaching is wonderful. So I wish you guys the best of luck with it. All right. If there aren't any more questions, then I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Say bye. All right. Bye, you guys.